Before we get into this story, I need you to understand something about dogs. They see the world differently than we do. They hear things we can't hear. They smell things we can't smell. And sometimes they sense things we're not meant to know about. What I'm about to tell you happened 6 months ago. And it's the reason I'll never look at my reflection the same way again. Pose 2 seconds. If you have a dog, pay attention when they act strange. They might be trying to tell you something. My name is Jake. I'm 32. And for the past 5 years, my best friend has been a golden retriever named Max. I got him as a puppy right after I bought my first house, a small place in the suburbs of Seattle. Just me and Max, living the bachelor life. Max was the perfect dog, friendly, loyal, never aggressive. He loved everyone. The mailman, the neighbors, kids who'd come up to pet him on walks. He'd never growled at anyone in his entire life. That's just who Max was. We had our routine. I'd leave for work around 8 a.m., and Max would walk me to the door, tail wagging. I'd come home around 6 p.m. and he'd be waiting right there at that same door, so excited to see me that his entire body would wiggle, every single day. For 5 years. Until the night everything changed. Subtle bass note beginning of unis. It was a Tuesday evening in November around 6:15 p.m. I'd stayed a bit late at the office finishing a project. I pulled into my driveway, grabbed my bag, and walked up to my front door like I'd done 1,000 times before. I put my key in the lock, opened the door, and called out like always. "Max, I'm home, buddy." Usually I'd hear his paws scrambling on the hardwood floor, running to greet me. This time, there was silence. "Max?" I walked into the living room. Max was there, sitting in the corner, staring at me. But he wasn't excited. He wasn't wagging his tail. He wasn't moving at all. He was just staring. With this look I'd never seen before. His ears were flat against his head. His body was tense. "Hey boy, what's wrong? You okay?" I took a step toward him. He backed up and started growling. Not a playful growl, not a warning growl to another dog. This was a deep, guttural, genuinely aggressive growl. The kind of sound I didn't even know Max was capable of making. "Max? Buddy, it's me. It's Jake. What's going on?" I crouched down, trying to make myself less threatening. Maybe I'd startled him somehow. Maybe he'd been sleeping and was disoriented. But as I moved closer, his growling got louder. He bared his teeth. His whole body was shaking. He was terrified. Of me. Tension music begins. I backed away slowly, my heart pounding. This didn't make any sense. Max knew me. Max loved me. We'd lived together for 5 years. I was his person, his best friend. Okay, I said softly. "I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just going to stay over here." I sat down on my couch, about 10 feet away from him. Max stayed in his corner, watching me with those terrified eyes. The growling eventually stopped, but he didn't relax, didn't move, just watched. We stayed like that for maybe 20 minutes. Me on the couch, completely confused and honestly a little hurt. Max in the corner, acting like I was a stranger who'd broken into his home. Then suddenly he blinked, tilted his head, and his tail started to wag. He trotted over to me like nothing had happened, jumped up on the couch and licked my face. His normal, happy, loving self. "What the hell, Max?" I checked him over. No injuries, no signs of pain. He seemed completely fine, playful, even like the past 20 minutes hadn't happened at all. I convinced myself he'd been having a nightmare or something. Dogs can have those, right? Maybe he was sleeping with his eyes open and I'd startled him. That had to be it. Except it happened again the next night. Ominous drone note. Same time, around 6:15 p.m., I came home from work, and the moment I walked through that door, Max was in the corner, growling at me, terrified of me. This time it lasted longer, almost 40 minutes. Me trying to talk to him calmly, him growling, backing away anytime I moved. And then, like a switch had flipped, he was suddenly fine again. Happy, playful Max. The third night, I recorded it. I set up my phone to video the moment I walked in the door. The footage showed exactly what I'd experienced. Me coming in, calling for Max. Max in the corner, growling, terrified. Me sitting down, trying to calm him. Max eventually snapping out of it and acting normal. I called my vet first thing the next morning. They got me in that afternoon for an emergency appointment. I explained everything, showed them the video. The vet, Dr. Sarah, looked concerned. "Has anything changed recently?" she asked. "New detergent? New cologne? Anything that might make you smell different to him?" "No, nothing. Same everything." She examined Max thoroughly, checked his eyes, his ears, his neurological responses, took blood samples, did x-rays. "Everything looks completely normal," she said. "No signs of neurological damage, no illness, no physical issues. His behavior right now is perfect, friendly, responsive, healthy, but something's wrong," I insisted. "This isn't normal behavior." "I agree, but I can't find a medical explanation. Have you considered environmental factors? Is there any chance you have a carbon monoxide leak that can cause hallucinations, confusion, behavioral changes in both humans and animals?" I hadn't thought of that. Carbon monoxide poisoning could definitely cause weird behavior. Sudden bass drop, new possibility. I bought a carbon monoxide detector on my way home. Installed it immediately. It showed nothing. No leak. The air in my house was fine. But that night, same thing. 6:15 p.m., Max didn't recognize me. I called my friend Marcus, who'd known Max since he was a puppy. "Can you come over? I need you to see this." Marcus arrived around 6 p.m. the next day and waited inside with Max while I left and came back, simulating my normal arrival time. I walked in at 6:15 p.m. exactly. Max was happy to see me. Tail wagging. No growling. Nothing. Dude," Marcus said. "He seems totally normal." We tried it again. Marcus left. I left. We both came back at 6:15. Max greeted both of us happily. It only happened when I was alone, when it was just me and Max. Dark, heavy music. That's when I started to really spiral. Was I losing my mind? Was this some kind of stress-induced hallucination? But I had video evidence. The growling was real. Max's terror was real. I set up more cameras. In the living room, the kitchen, the hallway. I needed to understand what was happening. That night, I reviewed the footage from multiple angles, and I saw something that made my blood run cold. At exactly 6:15 p.m., I walked through my front door. The camera facing the doorway showed me clearly coming home from work, setting down my bag, calling for Max. But the camera in the living room, the one angled toward the hallway mirror, showed something else. In the mirror's reflection, for just a few seconds, my face looked wrong, distorted, like someone else was wearing my face as a mask. The proportions were slightly off. The expression wasn't quite human, and Max wasn't looking at me. He was looking at my reflection in the mirror. Silence, then slow, haunting strings. I watched that footage over and over, frame by frame. It was only visible in the mirror, only for those few seconds right when I walked in, and only at 6:15 p.m. I started coming home at different times, 5:30 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m. Max was always normal, always happy to see me. But if I came home at 6:15 p.m. exactly, within about a 5-minute window, 6:13 to 6:18, Max would react with terror, and in the mirror's reflection, something about me looked wrong. I covered all the mirrors in my house. Every single one, couldn't see my reflection anywhere. Max stopped having the episodes. For 2 weeks, everything was normal again. Max was his old self, happy, loving, the dog I'd always known. But I couldn't live with covered mirrors forever. It felt insane. It felt like I was running from something I didn't understand. So I uncovered them. Sharp string, stab, de-escalation. The episodes came back immediately, but they were worse now. Now when Max looked at my reflection, he didn't just growl, he'd hide, whimper. Sometimes he'd run to the door and scratch at it, desperately trying to get out of the house. I went to the mirror during one of these episodes, looked at myself, tried to see what Max was seeing. I looked normal to me. Just my regular face, my regular reflection. But Max was looking at that reflection with pure terror, like he was seeing something monstrous. I started researching, late into the night, going down rabbit holes online about animal behavior, supernatural phenomena, mirror superstitions. I found stories about doppelgangers, spiritual doubles that look exactly like you but aren't you. In German folklore, seeing your doppelganger is an omen of death. In some cultures, reflections are believed to be windows to other dimensions. I found forums where people talked about animals sensing supernatural things. Dogs barking at empty corners. Cats staring at walls where nothing visible exists. Pets refusing to enter certain rooms. One post in particular stuck with me. It was on a paranormal forum posted 3 years ago by a woman in Oregon. She wrote, "My cat started hissing at me specifically between 3 o'clock and 3:30 a.m. every night. Only during that half-hour window. I thought she was sick. Vet found nothing. This went on for months. Eventually I discovered that the previous owner of my house had died at 3:17 a.m. in my bedroom, the exact room where my cat would hiss at me. The moment I learned this and acknowledged it out loud, my cat stopped, like she'd been trying to tell me all along." The post had dozens of replies from people sharing similar experiences. Pets acting strange at specific times. Animals reacting to reflections or shadows their owners couldn't see. Dogs refusing to go near certain objects or places. I looked up my house's history. The official records showed it was built in 2010. I was the second owner. The first owners, a couple named the Hendersons, had lived here for 7 years before selling to me. I found their names on social media. Both still alive, living in California now. I even messaged Mrs. Henderson, asking if they'd ever experienced anything strange in the house. She replied, "No, nothing at all. We loved that house, only sold it because of my husband's job relocation." Why do you ask? I didn't want to sound crazy, so I didn't explain. Just thanked her and said I was curious about the house's history. But when I dug deeper into the property records at the county clerk's office, I found something else. Before 2010, before the Hendersons, before my house even existed, this land had been part of a larger property. In 1987, there had been a different house standing roughly where my house stands now. An older house, built in the 1960s. And in that house, a man named Robert Chen had lived alone. On November 3, 1987, at 6:14 p.m., that house caught fire. Electrical malfunction in the living room. By the time the fire department arrived, the entire structure was engulfed. Robert Chen died in the fire. They found his body near where the living room mirror had been, according to the fire report. He'd been trying to escape, but got disoriented by the smoke. 6:14 p.m., November 3, 1987, 37 years ago. And every year since, at 6:15 p.m., something about that moment, that time, that specific window of minutes, something remains. Music fades to almost silence. I don't know what Max sees in my reflection at 6:15 p.m. I don't know if it's me, or something else wearing my face, or some echo of Robert Chen who died here decades ago, disoriented and terrified, staring at his own reflection as smoke filled his lungs. Maybe mirrors really are windows. Maybe in that specific moment, at that specific time, the boundary between whatever was and what is becomes thin enough for something to look through. All I know is that Max wasn't broken. He wasn't sick. He was doing exactly what dogs do, sensing something I couldn't sense, seeing something I couldn't see, trying to warn me about something wrong. I've moved since then. New house across town, different neighborhood, built on land with no tragic history, and Max is fine now. Completely normal. No more episodes. We have our old routine back, him greeting me at the door every evening, tail wagging, pure joy. But here's what I can't shake. Sometimes, when I'm home alone at my new place, I'll catch a glimpse of myself in a mirror around 6:15 p.m. And just for a second, less than a second, really, just the briefest moment, I swear I see what Max saw. Someone else looking back at me. With my face, with my expressions, but not my eyes. The eyes are wrong. They're looking at me, not with me. Looking at me like I'm something unfamiliar, something that doesn't belong. And in those moments, I understand why Max was so terrified. Because if I could see myself the way he sees me during those moments, I'd be terrified too. I don't look in mirrors at 6:15 p.m. anymore. I make sure I'm either still at work, or if I'm home, I'm nowhere near a reflective surface. No mirrors, no windows, no screens. Max still watches me sometimes during that time window. Not with fear anymore, more like concern. Like he's checking to make sure I'm still me. And most days I am. Most days,